As a part of its ongoing effort to put HIV back on the radar of all Americans, the CDC launched Let's Stop HIV Together in July of 2012, a national communication campaign designed to address two major obstacles to stopping HIV in the United States. This campaign is sponsored by the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention and is still ongoing today. The Let's Stop HIV Together primary campaign message, according to their website, is by helping to reduce the stigma and discrimination against people living with HIV and educating Americans about HIV risks and how to prevent it. Let's Stop HIV Together helps to achieve specific goals of the National HIV/AIDS Strategy. This aligns perfectly with the CDC and their mission, as the CDC's mission is to promote health and quality of life by preventing and controlling disease, injury, and disability. So Let's Stop HIV Together uses its own branding along with the CDC's branding in all of their advertisements. I believe this is a great idea since many people may not know the campaign Let's Stop HIV Together, but people are more likely to recognize the CDC and their credibility with the branding on these advertisements. The CDC, or the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, is one of the most credible sources out there. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is the National Public Health Agency of the United States. It is a United States federal agency under the Department of Health and Human Services. Now, there is a huge ongoing stigma about HIV or about those at risk of infection that continues to prevent too many from seeking testing or treatment. Also, too many Americans do not recognize the magnitude of the HIV crisis, and the nation's sense of urgency has waned since the early days of the epidemic. The campaign gives voice to people with HIV from all walks of life alongside their friends and family members. As part of the campaign, these individuals share their personal stories and call on everyone to join the fight against the disease. Let's Stop HIV Together highlights the fact that HIV touches every corner of American society and that people with the infection are part of the fabric of the families and valued members of our community. Every year in the United States, approximately 50,000 people are newly diagnosed with HIV. More than 1 million people are living with HIV in the United States, and 1 in 5 do not know he or she is infected. To reach those unaware of their HIV infection, the campaign encourages all of us to learn about HIV prevention, testing, and treatment. According to the website hiv.gov, the Let's Stop HIV Together campaign's target audience focuses on all adults. It focuses on populations most at risk for HIV in the United States. Some attitudes or behaviors that this campaign is trying to alter is the stigma behind HIV and AIDS. The campaign states, combating stigma is critical to stemming the spread of HIV in the United States. Research shows that while most Americans understand how HIV is transmitted, stigma and discrimination against those with HIV still persist. Stigma keeps people from taking the action needed to protect themselves and others from this disease. For those at risk of infection, stigma can make it more difficult to use condoms and seek HIV testing. For those already diagnosed with HIV, stigma can discourage them from seeking and staying in the care that they need to stay healthy and avoid transmitting the disease to others. Personally, I think the main objectives of this campaign is to further educate people on what HIV is, what to do if they have HIV, get testing done, and letting people know that they are not alone in this situation. The Let's Stop HIV Together campaign's main objective, according to their website, is to get facts, learn the basics of HIV transmission and prevention, get tested. The CDC recommends that every adult and adolescent gets tested at least once in his or her lifetime, and those at an increased risk, for example, same-sex partners or individuals with new or multiple sexual partners, get tested at least once a year. And finally, get involved. Encourage friends and loved ones to get tested and speak out against the stigma and complacency that help fuel the spread of HIV. So according to their website, the campaign is designed to reach a general audience as well as people living with HIV and their friends and family through multiple channels. These campaign components include national advertising, so national online and print advertising, as well as TV and radio public service announcements designed to reach a broad range of people in their daily lives. Local advertising, such as billboards and transit advertising in cities across the country, including Spanish language ads in Miami and Los Angeles. Social media, Through Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, the campaign helps to dispel HIV myths and misperceptions while encouraging people to share their personal stories to join the fight against HIV, which we will now watch a video on one of the testimonies that was given on their YouTube channel.
I am a mother and a grandmother, and I'm living with HIV. My best friend set me up with a gentleman as a blind date. And I dated him a few times. He came to me on his own and told me that he had just found out he was diagnosed with HIV. So I went the following day and got tested. I tested negative for 30 days, and my next test I tested positive. So I was infected and diagnosed within 2 months. Well, I think that in some ways it made me a stronger person. I was forced to educate myself on it because I knew really nothing about it. I knew it existed, but I didn't feel like I was in danger of getting infected.
It's very important to be there for them, because I know there was times when you didn't think you could trust or had anybody to talk to.
Right.
So to have the support of loved ones is a lot.
You know, I want other mothers and daughters and grandmothers and sisters to see that, you know, you can get infected, but they've come a long way. I mean, I'm 16 years infected and I'm a very healthy woman. It only took me one time of unprotected sex to be infected. It could happen to you. Let's stop HIV together.
Get the facts, get tested, get involved.
So another platform that the Let's Stop HIV Together uses is their campaign website. And the Let's Stop HIV Together website provides information for others to use to expand the reach of the campaign, such as ads, web banners, badges, and buttons. Finally, promotional materials such as posters, postcards, and brochures are available for distributions in cities throughout the nation by local public health agencies, businesses, and community-based organizations. So despite the ongoing heavy toll of HIV, the epidemic is less visible today than it was in the past. A survey done by the Kaiser Family Foundation in 2012 found that a proportion of Americans who reported seeing or reading some or a lot about HIV in the United States had fallen 70% in 2004 to only 40% in 2012. At the same time, the sense of urgency around the epidemic declined sharply, with the percentage of Americans naming HIV as the nation's most urgent health problem falling from 21% in 2004 to 7% in 2012. All in all, the campaign Let's Stop HIV Together has been incredibly successful. They have seen an incredible use of their website along with the links that they have posted on their social media. The CDC is even awarding $2.4 million over the course of the next 5 years to 13 organizations nationwide to distribute materials and messages for the campaign, as well as other CDC HIV resources.